On the news tonight, Governor Sheriff Oborevwori calls for stronger collaboration between the executive and legislative arms of government. President Bola Tinubu reaffirms administration's commitment to advancing education and infrastructural development. Abroad, Cameroonian President Paul Biya re-elected for another 8-term tenure. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on Delta Television News tonight. My name is Onome Iyarui. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website on www.dbsasaba.com. Now, details of the news. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has called for stronger collaboration between the executive and legislative arms of government to make Nigeria's automobile industry globally competitive. He made a call while declaring open a 4-day retreat for members and staff of the House of Representatives Committee on Industry held in Asaba. Ejime Udueme completes the report.
The governor, who was represented by the Chief of Staff, Government House, Honorable Johnson Erijo, emphasized the need for the synergy to revive local manufacturing and stimulate industrial growth. The governor said the retreat aimed at building a globally competitive automotive sector resonated strongly with his administration's vision of accelerating industrialization and pledged his commitment to supporting the growth of the automotive industry in Nigeria. He called for executive-legislative partnership, saying that legislative backing for incentives, infrastructure, and skills was crucial, alongside executive commitment to policy consistency and ease of doing business.
We are creating the enabling environment for industries to thrive through massive infrastructural renewal, public-private partnerships, a decentralized power distribution system, and enhanced peace and security, coupled with an educated, vibrant, and highly motivated youth population.
Earlier, Chairman of the House Committee on Industry, Honorable Anita Badru, and other participants underscored the importance of the retreat, which they said was aimed at bolstering Nigeria's automotive sector through executive-legislative synergy. They highlighted the vicious cycle of high interest rates, soaring vehicle costs, and the resultant preference for second-hand cars among Nigerians. Ejime Udueme reporting.
Leaders and stakeholders of Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu Federal Constituency Forum, U3, of the All Progressives Congress, APC, have expressed support for President Bola Tinubu and Governor Sheriff Oborevwori. The motion was moved by the member representing Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Honorable Francis Waive, who lauded President Tinubu for his development strides, particularly the approval of the Federal Medical Center in Udu. Honorable Waive also praised Governor Oborevwori for his progressive leadership, urging party members to continue to support both leaders and mobilize their constituents for the ongoing voter registration. The motion, seconded by Honorable Matthew Omonade and adopted through a voice vote, was presided over by the forum's chairman, Olorogun John Oguma, who emphasized the need for unity and collaboration within the party. The host and deputy chairman of the forum, Chief Eddie Onosoroe, appreciated the leadership of the privilege to host the meeting and commended members for maintaining peace and unity in the party. The state government has announced the release of results of the supplementary entrance examination into the 17 model secondary schools conducted across designated centers on Saturday, October 4. A statement from the Commissioner for Secondary Education, Mrs. Rose Ezewu, has advised candidates who sat for the examination to check their results online using the scratch cards with which they registered. The statement disclosed that a total of 1,292 candidates, comprising 740 males and 552 females, participated in the exercise, adding that the supplementary examination covered entry into JSS 1, JSS 2, SS1, and SS3 or SS2. It directed successful candidates to proceed to the principals of their chosen model schools after meeting the approved cut-off marks. The statement warned principals not to admit any candidate who failed to meet the required cut-off marks, emphasizing that only qualified students should be offered admission. It commended the examinations department in the ministry for its commitment and professionalism, urging it to sustain its record of smooth conduct and timely release of examination results. Christians have been encouraged to maintain unwavering confidence in God. Pastor Rex Sajiri of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Mount Zion Parish, Asaba, gave the charge while officiating at the weekly prayer meeting of Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS, Asaba. The reports.
Speaking on the theme, restoring your confidence in prayer, Pastor from Hebrews chapter 11 verse 6 emphasized that faith was essential to pleasing God, who rewarded those who diligently sought Him. Pastor Sajiri urged worshippers to therefore never doubt God or lower their expectations, stressing that God never failed those who displayed faith or strong confidence in Him. He identified habits that destroy confidence in God to include negative words, fear, sin, guilt, toxic associations, impatience, and comparison, urging all to avoid all such things.
Abraham believed God, and it was accounted unto him as what? Righteousness. If you like, dress the way you want to like dress without faith. It is not difficult, it is impossible. It is not hard, it is impossible to please God. He that cometh to God must believe that He exists. That one is easy, not believe He exists. But that He is a what? A rewarder of those that diligently, yes, that diligently seeking.
The section featured songs of praise and prayers for the station, the state, and the nation.
The state head of service, Dr. Mininima Oseji, joined senior citizens in the state capital to mark the 2025 United Nations UN International Day of Older Persons at the Mariam Babangida Leisure Park and Fame Village, Asaba. The 35th edition of the annual event had as theme Older Persons Driving Local and Global Action, Our Aspirations, Our Well-Being, Our Rights. Dr. Oseji at the occasion read the message of the UN Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, while participants urged greater inclusion of senior citizens in empowerment programs, particularly for elderly men, as well as more activities that would keep them socially engaged and active. Dr. Oseji advised the senior citizens to connect through social media platforms to access information on beneficial programs and opportunities. The event featured a walk through the park and a Ferris wheel ride as part of the highlights. Seplat Energy PLC has concluded the 2025 edition of its Pearls Quiz competition for secondary schools across Edo and Delta states, with the Pioneer Education Center, Edo State, emerging overall winners. The school received a cash prize of 10 million naira to equip its ICT center at the grand finale held in Asaba. The Director, External Academics.
The Director, External Affairs and Sustainability, Seplat Energy, Mrs. Choma Afe, represented by the General Manager, Seplat, Ms. Hadiza Gabati, explained that the initiative was conceived to promote the development of exceptional and respectable leaders. She added that this year's edition introduced a STEM Innovation Challenge, rewarding creativity and real-world problem-solving skills.
And since then, we have been active in our host communities, and we've seen a lot of growth in participation, in academic excellence and enthusiasm. We've seen a lot of enthusiasm in the room here today.
In his remarks, Governor Sheriff Oborewori, represented by the Commissioner for Humanitarian Affairs, Community Support Service and Girl Child Development, Ms. Orode Udwanga, commended the Seplat joint venture for the Pearl Quiz initiative, which had continued to positively shape the academic and the personal growth of students across both states.
The Pearls Quiz, which translates to promoting exceptional and respectable leaders, is a shining example of corporate social responsibility that aligns perfectly with our developmental vision. For years, this initiative has provided a vibrant platform for students to demonstrate intellect, confidence, and character.
In their goodwill messages, the Delta State Commissioner for Secondary Education, Mrs. Rose Ezewu, represented by the Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Patricia Inovosa Okako, and the Edo State Commissioner for Education, Dr. Emmanuel Eyamu, represented by the Director of School Support Services, Mr. Abdulkadri Ikogade, applauded NNPC Seplat Energy PLC for their commitment to education and youth development. Also speaking, the Managing Director of the NNPC Exploration and Production Limited, Mr. Nicholas Pokat, represented by Mr. Godwin Ejiga, expressed delight at the enthusiasm and brilliance displayed by the participating students.
On behalf of the Edo State Ministry of Education, I express sincere gratitude to NNPC Seplat Energy PLC for their unwavering support and investment in education.
The competition has been very engaging, and we want to say big congratulations. The management of NNPC Ampli Limited says big congratulations to the winners, and then we wish them all the best in their future endeavors.
The event climaxed with the presentation of trophies and cash prizes to outstanding schools. The first prize of 1 million naira in the STEM category went to Hollywood International School, Asaba, for presenting a multifunctional academic laboratory.
Champions, their school is located in the bustling town of Benin City. They have come, they have fought a good fight, and they have won.
President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to advancing education and infrastructure under the Renewed Hope agenda. He stated this at the 40th convocation of the University of Ilorin, Kwara State, represented by the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Professor Adenike Oladiji. The President said the newly inaugurated projects, including lecture halls, an English drama studio, renovated departmental buildings, and upgraded innovation and entrepreneurship facilities, reflect the university's dedication to serving humanity. President Tinubu urged university authorities to maintain the new facilities, stressing that they symbolize national progress and innovation. He also commended the Vice Chancellor, Professor Wahab Egbewole, and his team for their efforts in transforming the institution in line with national goals. The federal government has announced plans to commemorate the 2025 National Health Promotion Day as part of efforts to strengthen preventive health care and promote the well-being of Nigerians. The event, themed Health Promotion, the catalyst for sustainable health and well-being of Nigerians 2.0, will be coordinated by the Health Promotion Division of the Family Health Department, Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. According to a statement signed by the Director, Family Health Department, Dr. Binyerem Okaire, the celebration aims to enhance public awareness on preventive health care and promote healthy living across all sectors. According adding that the ministry remains committed to empowering citizens with the knowledge and tools to make healthier lifestyle choices, stressing that prevention is cheaper and more effective than cure. Activities lined up for the event include a press briefing by the Coordinating Minister of Health on October 29, a fitness and wellness walk, and a technical session on October 30. Post-event programs will feature community sensitization, school-based health promotion, media engagements, and webinars on preventive care. Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, emphasized that health promotion is a shared responsibility. He urged Nigerians to adopt healthy lifestyles and support government's efforts to achieve national health goals, noting that state governments are also expected to commemorate the day in line with their local health priorities. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has cleared 85 underage candidates for admission into tertiary institutions for the 2025-2026 session. The decision followed a special screening held on October 8 for candidates below 16 who scored exceptionally high in the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME. JAMB's Public Communication Advisor, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, said the exercise ensured that only outstanding and well-prepared candidates benefited. Out of over 2 million applicants, 41,027 sought admission under the underage category, while 599 scored above 80% and were further screened. 85 candidates were eventually cleared after verification involving the Education Ministry, the National Universities Commission, NUC, and other experts. JAMB explained that the exceptional policy aligned with global best practices, even as it urged the 182 finalists who missed the interview to lodge complaints online, while directing candidates who scored above 320 to upload their O-level results by Wednesday, October 29. The Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association, NVMA, has raised concern over rising zoonotic diseases, which is said cost about 2.7 million deaths globally each year. Expressing worry at the development, NVMA President Dr. Moses Arokoya said 65% of human infections came from animals. He warned that antimicrobial resistance could claim up to 39 million lives yearly by 2050 if not urgently tackled, calling for stronger public health systems. The veterinary expert also urged the federal government to declare a state of emergency on abattoir operations, improve meat hygiene, and boost disease surveillance nationwide. The Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC, has announced the resumption of the Warri-Itakpe train service on Wednesday, following the completion of the essential maintenance work along the route. The service was suspended to allow for repairs aimed at improving safety and efficiency. NRC spokesperson Mr. Chukuma Obefa said the corporation remains committed to providing safe and reliable transportation. He added that tickets are available at all stations and online through the NRC portal. The Warri-Itakpe line, which links Delta, Edo, and Kogi states, is expected to boost trade and ease movement within the region. Passengers are advised to adhere to safety regulations while on board. You're watching the Delta Television main news. Still to come, Cameroonian President Paul Biya re-elected for another 8-term tenure. Details in a moment. Stay tuned.
if tanker wey carry fuel fall or pipe wey carry fuel for underground burst, wetin you go do? You go begin bail fuel put for your bucket, or you go run comot far for where the fire go soon come. Na only small time you get to take this wise decision. Waka comot, no, that one no dey enough. Shift, no, that one no dey enough. Stay there dey gist and take pictures with your phone. That na madness. Run, yes, run comot. Yes, your life depend on wetin you do. The fire go come at once and you no go fit control am. Why? Petrol dey catch fire easily. Why? Na just small spark go start big fire. So no stay there dey think. Run comot quick to save your life. No throway your life away because of say you wan pack petrol. Take this advice. This informate na from Public Enlightenment Office, Delta Broadcasting Service, Asaba.
Welcome back to Delta Television Main News. The global scene is next as we join our world news desk.
Cameroon's president Paul Biya has been re-elected for an 8th term that could keep him in office until he is nearly 100 years, according to official results announced today by the Central Africa Country's Constitutional Council. Biya, 98, took office in 1982 and has held a tight grip on power ever since, doing away with the presidential term limit in 2008 and winning re-election by comfortable margins. The Constitutional Council said the incumbent has secured 53.66% of the vote in the October 12 election. Opposition candidate Issa Chiroma received 35.19%. This year, his strongest challenge came from Issa Chiroma, a former government spokesperson and employment minister in his late 70s, who broke ranks with Biya earlier this year and mounted a campaign that drew large crowds and endorsements from a coalition of opposition parties and civic groups. Former Ivory Coast Commerce Minister Jean-Louis Billion has considered defeat to the incumbent president Alassane Ouattara in the country's presidential election. In a statement, Billion congratulated Ouattara, saying the initial results from many localities clearly placed the 83-year-old president in the lead. Billion was among 4 opposition candidates who contested against Ouattara, a former IMF deputy managing director who is seeking a 4th term in office. The election, which took place over the weekend, was largely peaceful and without major incidents. Billion had earlier failed to secure the backing of the opposition PDCI party, led by former Credit Suisse CEO Tidjane Thiam, who was ruled ineligible to run in Saturday's vote. Ivory Coast Electoral Commission is expected to release provisional results within 5 days.
It's time to join our business news desk for stories in the business and the economy.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has released a total sum of $1.259 billion to the oil sector players for the importation of petroleum products and other related items into the country. The amount released between the first 3 months of 2025 is against the backdrop of the insistence of marketers to continue fuel imports despite the availability of petrol from Dangote Refinery. According to fresh data from the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, petroleum marketers imported 69% of the 21 billion liters of petrol Nigerians consumed between August 2024 and the first 10 days of October 2025. Between January and March 2025, a total of 2.28 billion liters of petrol were imported despite improved refined products from the Dangote Refinery. Fuel imports, a significant consumer of foreign exchange, impact the country's foreign reserves and the naira to dollar rate. The volume represents one of the lowest quarterly import figures in recent years, reflecting the gradual shift towards local refining and blending of petroleum products. A breakdown using the Central Bank of Nigeria's quarterly statistical bulletin for the first quarter of 2025, the Apex Bank released a total of $1.26 billion for import transactions between January and March. Meanwhile, the Dangote refinery has officially begun construction work for the expansion of the facility from 650,000 barrels to 1.4 million barrels per day. The president of the Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, made the announcement at a press briefing in Lagos yesterday. Flanked by his friend, the chairman of First Bank, Mr. Femi Otedola, Dangote said this would make the refinery the largest in the world. Dangote said the company had signed an agreement with a technological licensor that will expand the facility. He maintained that the expansion will be completed within the next 3 years.
The National Orientation Agency, NOA, has said Nigeria's debt profile has significantly decreased since President Bola Tinubu assumed office in 2023. The agency, in an explainer released on October 24, said a clarification became necessary to address what it described as widespread misconceptions about the country's debt situation. It cited data from the Debt Management Office, DMO, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and other credible institutions. According to the NOA, Nigeria's total public debt stood at $113.42 billion as of June 2023, with a debt to GDP ratio below 40%, a level considered sustainable by the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the World Bank. The agency projected that by December 2024, the debt figure could drop to about $94.22 billion, representing a reduction of more than $19 billion within an 18-month period. However, the DMO reported on October 12 that Nigeria's total public debt had risen to 152.39 trillion naira as of June 30, 2025, an increase of 3 trillion from the March figure. The DMO said the rise was mainly due to exchange rate adjustments and new borrowings to fund budget deficits. Despite this, the NOA maintained that the federal government has been actively managing its borrowings and repayments. Instead of accumulating more debts, Nigeria has been making down payments and restructuring existing obligations to ease fiscal pressure, the agency stated, adding that the overall outlook for debt sustainability remains. You're watching Delta Television Main News. Coming up next is Sports News.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria will clash with Egypt in April 2025 Africa Cup of Nations friendly in December. The encounter is slated for the Cairo International Stadium on Sunday, 14 December. Nigeria and Egypt will use the friendly to prepare for the AFCON, which will kick off in Morocco on December 21. The Super Eagles will start their preparations for the biennial tournament on December 10. Eric Chell's side are expected to play more warm-up games before the start of the competition. Egypt will take part in a four-nation tournament in Dubai with Uzbekistan, Iran, and Cape Verde next month as part of their preparations for AFCON 2025. The Super Eagles are drawn in Group C with Uganda, Tunisia, and Tanzania. The Pharaohs will face South Africa, Angola, and Zimbabwe in Group B. Warri Wolves continue their impressive start to the new Nigeria Premier Football League (NPFL) season with a commanding 2-0 victory over Bayelsa United at the Ozoro Stadium yesterday. The Seasider dominated proceedings from the onset, displaying confidence and fluid attacking play that kept the visitors at the back foot throughout the encounter. Forward Igbunu Ewieruwoma was the hero of the afternoon, scoring both goals for the hosts to seal all 3 points. Bayelsa United struggled to find their rhythm and really troubled the Wolves' backline. The victory lifts Warri Wolves further up the NPFL table, maintaining their strong home form, while Bayelsa United would look to bounce back when they host their next fixture in Yenagoa. Elsewhere in the NPFL, Wiki Tourists ended Shooting Stars' 5-game unbeaten run with a 2-0 win in Bauchi, courtesy of goals from Abdullahi Usman and Jonathan Mariga. At the New Jos Stadium, Plateau United edged Enyimba 2-1, with Monday Gideon bagging a brace, while Jonathan Jacob netted Enyimba's consolation. Rangers and Kwara United played out a goalless draw in Enugu, while Abia Warriors secured a 2-0 victory over Barao FC, with Emeka Obioma and Stanley Megwo scoring for the Warriors. Kun Khalifat and Bendel Insurance settled for a 1-1 stalemate.
The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has forecast a 3-day spell of dust haze and rainfall beginning today across parts of the country. According to NIMET, slight dust haze with good visibility is expected over northern states such as Borno, Zamfara, and northern Kaduna. Later in the afternoon or evening, isolated thunderstorms and light rains are likely in Taraba and Adamawa. Central states like the FCT, Nasarawa, and Kogi states may also experience isolated showers. NIMET advised residents, especially those in low-lying or flood-prone areas, to remain vigilant as heavy rainfall could occur in some locations. The agency said the weather pattern is part of the seasonal transition from the rainy period to the dry harmattan phase, urging farmers and transporters to take necessary precautions. That's our news. Next is a thought for the day. Do not put your hope in any man. You will be disappointed when you least expected it. Put your hope in God. The highlight of the news. Governor Sheriff Oborewori has called for stronger collaboration between the executive and legislative arms of government to make Nigeria's automobile industry globally competitive. He made a call while declaring open a 4-day retreat for members and staff of the House of Representatives Committee on Industry held in Asaba. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to advancing education and infrastructure under the Renewed Hope agenda. And from the foreign scene, we reported that Cameroon's President Paul Biya has been re-elected for an 8-year term that could keep him in office until he is nearly 100 years, according to official results announced today by the Central African Countries Constitutional Council. So much for Delta Television News. You can also watch us online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website on www.dbsasaba.com. Thank you for watching. On behalf of the news editor and the production team, I am Onome Iyarowe. Good night.